I want to high road this. I want to high road this as best as I can, though I want to offer some caveats before I high road this. I'm aware that there is a difference between a highly publicized figure, a highly public figure who was 87 and battled cancer for decades before she finally died, and Sandy Hook kids. So I realize that all death is tragic. However, there's a very different take to honoring the individual necessarily, and by, not by staying away from politics. I agree that there's a difference there. That said, I still think it's worth high roading, because if we want to maintain a civilized society, this is what we need to do. The office itself needs to maintain some air of dignity. So we need to, in the case of the individual, afford at least some dignity when handling the individual. Now, I may disagree entirely with their politics, but I think that there is value in at least not conducting the memes that I'm seeing going around about her death. Not saying things like, well, it's good. Not saying things like, thank God, ding dong, the witch is dead. Thank God for this early Rosh Hashanah gift. Right. And this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm actively combating on the internet. I don't think it's appropriate. The office is due some air of dignity at least. And if you want to see what offering at least some air of dignity looks like, well, let's take what this guy has. Let's take the example of this guy, for example.
She just died? Wow. I didn't know that. You're telling me now for the first time. She led an amazing life. What else can you say? She was an amazing woman. Whether you agreed or not, she was an amazing woman who led an amazing life. I'm actually sad to hear that. I am sad to hear that. Thank you very much.
Dignity, grace. I know we don't normally expect it from the man, and it's a huge part of why even I didn't vote for him in 2016. But folks, I've said it before, I'll say it again. He's really toning down the rhetoric over the last few years. He's substantially toned it down. And this was done on the fly, folks. To contextualize what that interview was, he had literally just gotten off the stage from a campaign rally. And the music in the background is the music from that campaign rally as he's left the stage. So lights you see off on the left are the stage that is 50 feet away from him. So no, he didn't have time to go onto his phone in the middle of what was a 2.5 hour campaign speech. Yes, she died in the middle of that speech. There's no way he could have known that. That was an honest take on the fly. And I know what you guys are going to say. What about the tweet storm? So in that case, let's go to the president's, let's see, do we have that? Do we have the president's tweet? Yes, we do. We have the president's official statement on the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Statement from the president on the passing of Supreme Court Associate Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Today, our nation mourns the loss of a titan of the law. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg served more than 27 years as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, notably just the second woman to be appointed to the court. She was a loving wife to her late husband, Martin, and a dedicated mother to her 2 children. Renowned for her brilliant mind and her powerful dissents at the Supreme Court, Justice Ginsburg demonstrated that one can disagree without being disagreeable toward one's colleagues or different points of view. Her opinions, including well-known decisions regarding the legal equality of women and the disabled, have inspired all Americans and generations of great legal minds. A fighter to the end, Justice Ginsburg battled cancer and other very long odds throughout her remarkable life. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Ginsburg family and their loved ones during this difficult time. May her memory be a great and magnificent blessing to the world. So, hold on. Excuse me, folks. Excuse the technical difficulties that I can't seem to avoid. I just can't seem to avoid having on this show. So, all right, we're back to getting everything in order. I think he's handling this with a degree of grace, and that's not what's happening from a huge swath of what I would call my side of the aisle normally. And I think that the office is owed a degree of dignity. And folks, that's our president. That's, God forbid, Donald Trump going onto Twitter and offering dignity and grace to a clear political opponent.